forgot about it. 275. 5 days later, after you spoke with the representative. So yes, man, we had spoken about 20 days ago, and remember I told you. And we had spoken on the 12th. Remember I told you, ma'am, on the 17th, another bill will kick in.
Oh my God. Oh, oh Jesus.
And see what God's saying is, this. See, I already gave you revelation on Sunday. I was telling you something else was getting ready to come on Friday.
Oh God.
You missed it. You missed it. And now you down begging me on Saturday the next week. I'm like, God, what happened? I said yesterday. And then I came to you, and so I said, the prophetic, and the person speaking the prophetic, and the Lord said, in the next 5 days, look out, man, God for woman of God, look, the Lord said, in the next 5 days, look out for Boom. You missed that prophetic and what was said. You didn't do it. The Lord said, in that 5 days, you want you to consecrate and pray. You didn't pray and consecrate. You missed it. You said, well, Lord, what happened? No, you're going to consecrate and pray. So now he got to come back and say, now let me catch you up. And this time, when the prophetic word comes, is a reminder of the fact that I told you the last time to do the 5 days of consecrating and praying. So this time, I'm going to have to come through a vessel. So the Lord said, I'm not going to 15 days. 15 days? Yeah, 15 days. Because the last time I told you 5 and you didn't do it. You're past due. Now I'm going to allow you to see. And you have to double up, and now it's high on you now. What is the natural as well as the spirit? Yeah. See? Natural and the spirit. Same scenario, same principle. You see? And see what God is saying is, I got to get my people to understand that they're past due. They're past due. And we are saying, I know the fire, I understand the fire. But really, we don't. We don't. We don't. We get a revelation. Get a revelation. But we're not getting the fullness. You're not getting the book. Now, and when you look at this title of this message, because the title of the message is, Do My Ordained Fire and Pressure Move You Closer to Me and My Kingdom, or further away? Further away. And then the secondary part of that was, where are you reading? Do my ordained fire and pressure move you closer to me and my kingdom, or further away? Where are you reading? See, and like I was explaining to them, and I'm not going to go back because there's a lot that I said, but God's saying that basically, that I'm trying to get my people to understand the fire correctly, in totality. In totality. In totality. Now, what we have to understand is this. When God asks this question, do my fire and pressure move you closer to me and my kingdom, or further away? I just was explaining to them. I went through it about 20 minutes. I can't really back up on all that. This is for those who just walk in. But no, seriously, I said a lot. But I will say this to you. It means what he's saying and why he's asking that question is for this reason. He's asking that question because meaning the fire is causing many to back up, not come closer to him. Okay? The fire is causing many to back up and not come closer to him. Because we said, what is the purpose of the fire? The purpose of the fire is to what? Purify to burn up impurities, so that we can see ourselves, see what God wants us to see, and then come forth towards Him. So we can come forth in Him and then also towards Him. That is the purpose of the fire. But we also said that because of the fire, many are backing up internally. And we're not talking about acts of service. Acts of service means church, Bible study, prayer, tithe, offering, revival. We're not talking about that. We're talking about internally. He's saying internally my people are in the fire and still backing up off. That's what he's saying. And he said, he asked a question. He said, because remember now, why do I have you in this fire? My real purpose of having you in the fire is to have you in this fire, to have you do this. Now you didn't really catch this point now. I won't get on the floor, but can you oh Jesus. You gotta adjust now, you gotta adjust. But this is the real purpose. Adjust the camera. But the whole real purpose of it, the fire is to have us doing this. Okay, God. Okay, God. Okay, God. Okay, God. Okay, God. Whatever, God. I surrender, God. I surrender, God. I surrender, God. That's the real purpose of the fire. And God said, many of my people are not doing that. They're not doing that. They know how to pray. They know how to seek me. They know how to speak in tongues. They know how to prophesy. They go to revival. They go to church. They go to prayer. They pray tithe. They pray offering. But in their spirit, they're backing off of me. Not surrender. It's a surrender mode while the fire is here. We keep missing while the fire is on us. If we're not getting closer and going closer towards Him, we're actually just being burned up for no reason. We just charcoal for no reason. What will we burn up for? What will we all black up for? For what? No. If once this black charcoal drop off of me, you're going to see the smooth caramel. Because remember now, the fire consume you. Fire consume you. And you're going to stay black, walking around black. The intention of the fire is to burn us up and then chip this mess off of us. That black up stuff is supposed to stay on us. That's supposed to come up. You're supposed to get a scrape and scrape that mess. And when you scrape it, that thing will look real nice once you scrape it off. Real nice. But for those who don't want to come towards God, they scrape it and it won't come off. It won't come off because it's still, the burnt is still there. It's just like it's just embedded. It won't come off. It's like it won't come off. He said, "I'm gonna let this fire stand until you understand. When you understand and you let me, when you scrape, it'll be so clean and pretty and shiny and nice." Yes. Yes. Where are you really? Because what God, like I said, what God is saying is He's revealing the words that don't match the actions. Because words and actions are not matching. See, we can say one thing out of our mouth, but in our spirit, we're in a total different place. And God said, where are you really? Where are you? See, we don't have to say these spiritual things. We don't have to talk so. We say all these spiritual things. I love the Lord. Please sit down. Your love, and Jesus said, those who love me obey me. Those who love me obey me. Don't talk about no love. God said, don't talk about no love. He said, you honor me with your lip, but your heart is far from me. So we keep thinking, no, you can't say nothing. I'm proud of me. Like, I know I'm a Christian. And I know I'm proud of me. I'm a Christian. I don't proud of me, okay? I'm a Christian. Okay, you Christian. Christian all day long. But Christian comes from the root word Christ. And any person who's a Christian is one little crisis. And any little crisis is one that's called a disciple. And a disciple is a student and a learner. He said, because he's asking us. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Do you know that many are losing it in the fire? This is why you see people in the fire and they backslide. They leave church. They go back. They backslide and start drinking again. Backslide, go back to drugs. Start sleeping around. Watch this now. So you judging? Hear me. You go back to cursing. Why is this happening? Because many couldn't take the fire. They couldn't take it. They couldn't take it. And God said, that was never my intention for you to go back to cursing, drinking, missing church, never being in church, don't want to pray, don't want to fast, don't want to consecrate, don't want to go to revival, don't want to worship me, don't want to praise me, don't want to even hear gospel music. You're back to E93 now. Back to R. Kelly, and nothing wrong. Then I put a guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Back to R. Kelly now. Everyone be on the songs. Now watch this. Watch this. Let's turn somewhere. Then we'll get into these nuggets right quick. Let's turn to Luke 14. 25. Luke 14, 25. Luke 14. Okay, Luke 14 and verse 25. And it says, and there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, if any man come to me, and hate not his father, and mother, and wife, and children, and brethren, and sisters, yea, his own life, also he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. When you look, and then it says, verse 28 says, for which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it, lest haply after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king going to war against another king sitteth not down first and consulteth whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000, or else while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth the embassage and desires the condition of peace. So likewise, whosoever be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. Salt is good, but it's the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be seasoned? It is neither fit for the land, nor yet for the dunghill. But men cast it out, and he that has ears to hear, let him hear. I'm not going to go back over this too much because I went over this about 3 weeks ago. But I want to get on just a couple of verses here, which is 26 and 27. We understand that he's talking about taking up the cross, and we dealt with the cross about a couple of weeks ago. But we understand that Christ is talking about being his disciple. And we understand the disciple is a student and a learner. Okay? A student and a learner. But what he's saying is, now I want you to understand something. One of the things that God is beginning to deal with me about and beginning to show me is this. You have to understand this point. When he says, come to me, and hate, you understand hate means deny, or respectfully in regard to, because in Amplified it says this, if anyone comes to me, in this Amplified, and does not hate his own father and mother, in the sense of indifference to or relative disregard for them in comparison with his attitude towards God, and likewise his wife and children and brothers and sisters, and yes, and even his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. See, one of the reasons why Jesus said this, because he knows us. He knows us. He knows how we respond, who we going to respond to. He knows who move us and who don't move us. So everything in the world it can be dealt with, whether it's money, family, wife, husband, rebellion, submission, anything you can think of is in the world. Everything's covered. So if that's the case, now remember, he's saying, Okay, cost of discipleship. He understands one of the strongest points with us is those that we love.
Amen.
If we can pass the love test with those we love, and pertaining to still serving God, or respectfully trying to love them and do the right thing by them, but still putting respectfully God first, when we pass that test, then we be coming in the place of discipleship. Most can't even pass that test. That's a hard test. I'm not going to say this is a test. That's all I don't want to sound uncompassionate about that. I understand. Don't get me wrong, okay? But I'm saying, but it's in the word for a reason. See, it's in the word for a reason, and he know that. He know it. Okay. So now, if that's the case, then he says in 35, the ending part says, which would be the C part. He that has ears to hear, let him hear. And we have to determine, are we letting God speak to us, and we determine to hear. And the hearing, like we said before, the hearing is not with these physical ears. The hearing is here. It's in our spirit. And hearing with your spirit and moving back with your spirit is something totally different. Because many can still hear with their spirit, don't get me wrong. But hearing with your spirit and moving with your spirit is two different things. Because you can receive something in your spirit and then spit it out. Why? What did the Bible says? He talked about what? The word falling on what? Stony ground and some good. Well, guess what? That good can be uprooted. So yes, it was stony, it didn't receive, but then there's something that received and then it got uprooted. So the determination is this here. It's something getting uprooted out of us. Even though we did receive. So I'm not going to say, oh, this person did. I'm saying if a person did it get uprooted? Did it? That's the question. We only can answer what I said. Did something get uprooted out of to have us at a place where we're backing up away from God? In our spirit, not in service areas. It's clear as day. You see it. I mean, you see it everywhere in the kingdom. It's everywhere. And then when someone like me got to preach like this, it's like I'm judging people. No, I got to preach like this because the kingdom is messed up right now. And I got to be the type, anyone like me who got to be the type that's willing to have people walk out and think, listen, look at the video, he's judging. Or look at the video and think, he's judging. I got to preach it, let it be. I just got to be one to sacrifice it. Because right now, a lot of leaders backing up for things. They see things that are backing up. They ain't saying it because they say, man, they're going to leave. Man, they're going to get mad. They're not going to pay tithe no more. Man, them do my big tithe payers right there. Man, please. Just as well as one come, God gets in another. Just as well as it increases over here, it can be over there. Faith is faith. God is God. See? So the question is this. Are we? Are you really? Because he asked the question, where are you really? Are you really in a place where you're coming forth towards God? Are you really? Are you really in a place where you're really coming forth towards God? I'm not talking about our service acts. We just in service. We just in revival. And a lot of us nowhere near coming forth towards Him. We just in a service. Revival the whole week and we're still backing up in our spirit. And if someone say, you want to get back in that place with God, they look at you like, what are you talking about? Because that person see past you being in service 5 minutes. Okay, watch this. Let's look at some of the definitions in the definition of the words, okay? That was Luke 14:25-27. And then let's look at the word fire. What did we say the definition of the word fire? We should remember it by heart. We said the word fire. We said the word fire was severe trial or ordeal. We said that we used the definition when it came to humanity and not dealing with the blaze or the flame. So fire means severe trial or ordeal. You say, oh my God, I got an ordeal of my life. And if it's God, that is the fire. Because it is an ordeal. So a severe trial, which means one that is heavy, that means it is the fire. Because when it is God, if it's God, that means it's an ordained fire, which is severe. Makes it a severe ordeal or trial, which is a fire. Why? To burn and purify, to get us to a place where we come towards Him in our spirit. Why would God ask such a question? So a person might say, that's a dumb message. That makes no sense. Don't He say I go to Bible study in church, I've been tired of Don't He say I've been tired of I go to church, Bible, and I go to Bible. All that. Can you see? I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. He can see it. They can see. You see. Because what God is saying is this. I'm trying to get my people who's chosen past the service.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you something. The Bible talks about in Romans chapter 12. Seek ye better verses of God. If you present your body living sacrifice. When you become a living sacrifice, that means, guess what? Your spirit and your service would match. Yeah. So guess what? I won't be in revival 5 nights and my spirit's back there. See? And I gave a scenario earlier, which was this. And I was giving a scenario where some people, based on revelation, I'm going to kind of briefly explain this because I can't go back through it too much. But let me tell you, some people are behind schedule on revelation. Let me tell you what I mean. And I was explaining earlier with this. See, behind schedule on revelation means this. See, Monday, you were supposed to get a revelation about you and what He's taking you, what He's doing with you. Watch this. You missed the revelation because you were struggling with your flesh based on the fact of your mind, your battles, or your circumstances and situations. So you missed the revelation of what He was trying to give you. Friday, you come, and there's another revelation you're supposed to catch, but you miss it also. Then also, you miss another revelation Monday. Monday, then Friday, then Monday. You miss it. That's like a week and whatever, 4 weeks, whatever. You miss it. You miss 3 revelations in 1 week about what He was trying to tell you. Then you do that for about 2.5 weeks. You make 6 revelations in 2 weeks. So what happens is, hypothetically speaking, you're up to date, you're current on what God is speaking at the present moment based on this day now. When you begin to speak, you are behind schedule 2 weeks. So when He begins to speak, we can't really grasp what He's saying to the degree because we're behind 2 weeks based on 6 revelations of each revelation per day, per week, per month. So when He was speaking on that time, we can't really grasp the fullness of it because we're behind in the revelation of what He's trying to show us each day, in each scenario. So when someone is speaking, if you're behind in the revelation in the spirit, when they're speaking, you hear them, but to a degree you don't really get it. So many are behind weeks on revelation based on what God is saying. So what that means is this. When we come to the point of saying the fire, because I'm saying, like I was saying earlier, a lot of people say, oh, the fire, oh, we all know, oh, we need the fire. Oh, God is bringing this up, oh, we need the fire. Many don't understand the fullness of the fire yet. Because when you understand the fire, you understand the degrees of the fire. You understand the magnitudes of the fire, and you also understand the levels of the fire based on how hot it gets and why. When that occurs, what you have to understand is this. We're supposed to get every revelation per day, per week of why God is doing and allowing this, and this in the fire. When we miss a week, we're behind. Has nothing to do with a service. Has to do with what God is speaking and saying, and it has nothing to do with just a sermon. I want you to really catch this. Because the revelation has to do with your private time, with Him being with Him alone. See, this here, me preaching is just confirmation and adding to. But if you miss, you can't really get this either. Because that means I'm supposed to be added on to your spirit. You see? So if many of His people are behind, and it still cries, oh God, I'm in the fire. And I said, you know what? At this point, many of His people should be at a place of peace. And if you're at a place of turmoil in your spirit and your mind, you should not be there. I'm telling you now. Today, right now as I'm speaking to you, I'm going to look all y'all in the face and I'm telling you the honest truth. today you should be at a place of peace. How are you going to determine to tell me that you must be crazy? Who are you drinking? God, well, tell me I should be at a place of peace. I'm telling you, as a man of God, today you should be at a place of peace. You should be. I'm not backing up what I just said. I know exactly what I'm saying. You should be at a place of peace. Why am I saying this? Because I'm going to tell you something. The degrees of what God take you through bring you to different levels in your spirit to a point where when you get to the place of peace, your fire is about over.
Amen.
Oh, Jesus, I'm telling you. When you get to the place of peace, your fire is almost over. If you're not at peace, you can stay in a little longer.